Hey, Podnutzians, welcome to Android App Addicts, episode 560. My name is Door Geek, owner operator of this here network, Podnutz Network, a podcast network for normal people by normal people. This episode is brought to you by Mike I. He's been a long time Patreon person since June of 2016. Thank you very much, Mike I, for all the support. And if you too would like to hear ad-free versions of this show, do not hesitate to go to patreon.com/Android App Addicts. I am joined by a couple good friends. One of them south of the equator, and the other one quite north of the equator. How's everything going, Ivor?
Hey, Dora, I'm fantastic, mate. I am so happy again because I have another new phone. So I've just been trying this out for the last week. I'll give you an update on it later on, but it's really good.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot on you really quick. Do you like deal drugs by any chance?
No, I only buy cheap phones.
Oh. Did you see how? Are you running for office by any chance? Because you answered that question like perfectly well. We're also joined by Josh. How's everything going, man?
Things are going pretty well, Dor. I am watching your beautiful mug through my new 32-inch monitor, which has been much better on my eyes. We went on a ski trip last week, and I survived. So, yeah, life is pretty good.
Okay, well, I think you either need to check your eyes, or maybe you need to ask for a replacement monitor. I don't know, something. I'm happy you survived the skiing trip. I honestly have a friend who lives right down the street from me who keeps asking me to go snowboarding. He's 30, and I just keep telling him, I'm pretty sure I come off the mountain in an ambulance, so I'm gonna pass.
How are you doing, Dor?
Nuts, crazy, cuckoo. Really quick, Iggy, I'm gonna ask you guys both, if you can, listen to the latest episode of DDG that just got released today. I want to say it was episode 31, was released on February 20th. I'm doing like a test phase thing. It's a literally podcast less than 2 minutes long, 2.5 minutes long. Going to see about doing literally one a day. So if you can just give a listen, give some feedback.
Yeah,
I caught the show. Sorry, carry on, Josh. You go.
I was gonna say I downloaded it today, but I haven't had that minute yet to listen to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I listened to the show. I think it was number 29. That was on YouTube.
Yesterday. Yeah, this wasn't on. Well, it was on YouTube, but it was the very end of the episode. I basically recorded a normal quote unquote episode. Then I recorded what is essentially 7 episodes of this short podcast.
Right.
At the end, yeah, it's episode 30 was released today.
Cool. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, and if you listeners care to partake, it's literally less than a 3-minute podcast. Feedback would be greatly appreciated. I'm pretty sure I'm going to break it out to its own feed here, probably in like a week. But you know, I appreciate feedback is what I'll say. I'll say in the world of Android, it's been a little bit nuts since we haven't done a show for 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, the amount of links that I have is kind of insane, is what I'm going to say. So I might literally just put a list of links at the bottom, just saying here's like all the overflow links that we couldn't get to that I still had. Because I believe I have about 50 links just for myself. Good news is coronavirus seems to be slowing down. Bad news is Mobile World Congress didn't happen. Good news is Mobile World Congress didn't happen. Oh wait, sorry. What? You know, really quick, refresh us. What were the last 2 phones you got, Ivor?
Oh right, I got a Sony Xperia X2. And at the same time, I also got another Asus Zenfone Max Pro, I think it was, or Max Plus, can't remember. And they were both fine and good. But then my daughter, her phone started playing up. She decided she didn't like it and she'd like a new one. So I gave her my Asus. And I in turn got this Boomy Digi Power 3, which is it has a 6150 milliamp hour battery.
Ooh.
So I started yesterday morning 100%, and I just plugged it in at 12:30, and it was down to 25% today. So that was pretty impressive battery life. The cameras are fantastic. It's got 5 cameras, macro cameras, ultra wide zoom. It's got all the things I need for living in a rural area of New Zealand. So it's got all the right bands. It's only got 4 gig of RAM though. So and there are some cost saving measures. The sound isn't that great, but it does have an earphone jack. So I'm quite happy with it.
Gotcha.
And what'd that run you?
This was $270, but I believe now that's New Zealand, so that would run me about just over maybe 200 US, and it's worth it. It's worth every cent. So far, it's great.
Yeah, I'll say 4 gig of RAM can be okay, but then the OS needs to be pretty optimized, has to be like pretty honed for that level of RAM. But
It's
I've
stock
seen
Android. That's the other thing I'm impressed. Android 10 stock. There's no bloat, none of that bullshit apps that go on it. All the Google apps, and that was it. I was really quite impressed. So, and the processor's a P60, a Helio P60, so it doesn't have a Snapdragon, but it's still pretty quick. I been zooming through lots of things, and it hasn't even raised a sweat. So, yeah. I thoroughly recommend it.
When I say optimized, I don't mean like app wise.
No. Yeah.
App wise, to me, no phone should come with maybe more than 2 or 3 other apps than the basic Android apps. But I mean, like kernel driver modules optimized, graphic modules optimized for that specific set of hardware. And I'll say when it's not super high end hardware, sometimes it's almost easier to get mid range hardware that already has open drivers for it, to where you can get decent performance without the vendor having to do a lot of work. But that means that they have a smart staff picking that hardware.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, my computer is on my desk and it's making some noise. Can you hear the vibrations?
I don't believe so.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I was just a bit worried about that. Yes, I imagine they save some money by not going through that optimization process as thoroughly as anybody else would. But to be honest, I haven't really noticed any significant change and difference in performance. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper than you would pay for an equivalent sort of flagship.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I forget, and before my battery goes dead on my phone, we do have a voicemail, so I'll say ahead of time, thank you very much for the voicemail, Red. He is in our chat, and if you would like to be a part of this show live, do not forget, we go live Thursday evenings. We try to go live around 9 o'clock. Tonight we were like 10 minutes late because I got home late. But if you want to know when we're going live, you can follow us in any of our social things that are mentioned in the notes. Notes are attached to the show. Any place you download this podcast or stream this podcast, notes will be right there available. Here is the voicemail.
Hey, it's Red. Just testing out the line, see if it still works. Hey, here's an app for you, Manualslib. It's a manual collection for lots of different pieces of equipment. That if you're looking for a manual, you can't find it, you might be able to find it there. And that's my little tip for the day. I sent it to you before, but I don't think you guys have mentioned it yet. So, later, guys.
Thank you very much, Red.
Yeah, thanks for answering the call, Red. I feel like we did bring that, but it's not in the list. We brought something similar, I don't know, a couple months ago. But yeah, it's definitely a handy looking app.
Can you put the link to the app in the YouTube there, please? And then
I think it's that one.
Because Red is in the chat, so if it's not the right one, he can help point us out. And if you too would like to send us a voicemail, do not forget, all you do is give us a call, 7076-POD-NUT. Easy, and there you go. That's the link to show. Manualslib, all one word, Manualslib user guide and owner's manual library. I'm not sure we did bring this. I'm going to say it slipped through the crack, or it was a long time ago, because around 6-8 months ago, my freezer condenser fan was starting to go up. It didn't go up, but it was starting to go up, and I looked for manuals for a while. The model number of our fridge pertains to like 20 different ones, and I could never find the right one. So if I would have known about this app, I would have probably made my life at least a little bit easier. Very cool, very cool. So do you have any hardware things or any news to speak of there, Josh?
No, I'm not rich like Ivor, so I don't have any new phones.
I prefer to call it independently wealthy.
Yeah, drug dealer. This is from Android Authority, and it's basically an article talking about how Essential is shutting down. The February update will be the last for their Essential phones, and then they are just going out of business, which is unfortunate for Ivor, because I'm sure that they would have been the company that came up with the wrist tablet that he so desperately desires, and the little phone that looks like portrait mode, that is looks like a TV remote as well, is no longer going to be coming out. So down goes Essential.
Yeah, I kept sending them emails asking them for a wrist tablet, but they never responded.
Yeah, that I don't even know what to call it. It's almost the form factor of like a TV remote control, maybe slightly more narrow. The nicest thing I can say is it looked genuinely interesting. There's no way it would not have taken a good amount of, like how I said, like optimization. Not even that, just a whole lot of structural code work in order to get that thing not look stupid, but also for it to actually be functional and useful. And all the like videos I saw of that oddly shaped phone, to me, I think they actually did a decent job. I don't know if it would have been successful. In fact, in 2020, if it would have launched, I would have been highly suspect if it would have been successful. And I will say, I have no problem saying maybe a week after their first phone launch, I said the countdown timer has started before this company goes out of business, because they didn't do anything spectacular. They were supposed to do stuff like the Danger Hiptop. Do you guys remember the Danger Hiptop?
The what?
It was called the Danger Hiptop.
What is that?
Fly to the Concords?
It was their very first phone back in the day before Android was out. It was a phone that you would hold landscape, and then you would flip one side with your thumb, and the entire top would flip around, and the screen would be on the top, and there would be a keyboard at the bottom.
Right.
Oh, was it Nextbit?
Excuse me?
Nextbit. Did they become Nextbit? Then they did the Robin, Nextbit Robin.
No, completely different company. Those people, to be honest, had no idea what they were doing, because they literally just created a phone that looked like an iPhone, but it was an Android phone.
Yep.
The Danger Hiptop went under different names. That was like the code name, is what I'm going to say. When it came out to other countries and other areas, it was definitely called something else, is what I'll say. But I'm going to make sure the link to that is in the notes, because I will say, when that phone came out, I remember literally, I'll use the word again, techno lust, when I saw that thing, because I thought, I would love to just sit there, flip that thing open, and just start hacking away like the movie Hackers or something other cheesy kind of thing. Yeah, it was called the T-Mobile Sidekick, the Moby Flip, and the Sharp Jump were the other names that it went by.
Mm-hmm.
So they also apparently Essential just acquired Newton Mail, which I have never
Yeah, they
used.
bought them about a year ago, I think.
Yeah, so they're taking that down with the ship as well.
Yeah. That was actually a really good email product, but then they charged like $160 a year to use it, and everyone just said bye bye.
That doesn't sound like a solid business
No,
strategy.
I think they were hoping for it to fund the operations of the hardware business, but it never happened.
He's dreaming.
Dreaming.
So that's another reference to the castle. So everyone who has not seen it, go out and watch it immediately. Orders.
And I will say I have had like 2 or maybe 3 people ask for access to my Plex server in the last couple weeks, and I'm not asking because I don't want to be let down, but I really hope everyone who is asking for access to that was asking for access just so they could watch that movie.
And I don't know if have you watched Flight of the Conchords, Door?
It doesn't ring a bell.
That's another must see.
That Daniel, what's his name? Daniel Craig?
No. It's
Fixed frame glass.
Yeah, it's actually a couple Kiwi blokes.
Yeah,
probably
with the
knows
really thick frame glasses and the guy with the bad hair. I've seen excerpts of it. I didn't have enough patience to sit through it. Yeah, I want to say Daniel, but I know what he looks like. He looks like somebody who would be in a Jareen Garofalo stand-up like after school special with her.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Teaching kids why it's whack to smoke crack or something like that.
Brett McKenzie
one of them
and
did
Jermaine
Brett McKay,
Clement.
yeah. Brett McKay did the music for the last Muppet movie as well. They're quite creative. Apparently, they get quite a few other jobs like that around Hollywood.
Gotcha.
But they were launched with the Flight of the Conchords, which was actually a masterpiece.
Yeah, see, my names were real off. I had his name way off.
I'm never any good with names anyway. So.
Brett McKenzie and Jermaine Clement.
Jermaine Clement.
Oh, Jermaine Clement.
Yeah, sure, him. Yeah.
But yeah, he is an after-school special guy.
Well, you could picture him being there, but then as soon as the actor says cut, he like does some narcotic drug.
Wow, he is Kiwi.
Gotcha. Well, I'll say one of like the news things that caught my eye, and I have no problem saying this again out loud. Like hey, why should I? I remember when the Samsung Galaxy Note, which was the first name of the very first one, I'm 99% sure, when that came out, people were openly mocking it. Especially the tech journalists were openly mocking it. It's so stupid. It's so big. It's so dumb. Oh God, it looks so bad. But I remember saying, I'm making people want that. They don't want little tiny cricket type phones. They want something big and honking kind of thing. And the Note has only gotten bigger throughout time, but also crazy expensive over time. And there is a certain section of the population that I know of, at least, who insist on having a stylus with their phone. I'm not going to claim I understand. I've never had one with a stylus, so I can't comprehend the justification to it. But Motorola is coming out with a Moto G stylus and a Moto G power mid-range phones coming this spring. There's no doubt both of these are mid-range phones. Number one, okay? So if you really have to have a stylus and you don't want to pay $1,000, I encourage you keep your eyes open for the Moto G stylus coming, I believe, by the third quarter of this year. It's not going to be as fanciful. It's not going to have as much tricks up its sleeve as a Samsung stylus, but you're also, again, not paying $1,000 for it. I'm not going to lie. I might actually entertain the idea of getting a phone with a stylus.
I use one of these. This is a pen that's got a little squidgy rubber bit on the end of it, and I use that sometimes. Well, a lot of the time actually, just to instead of my finger. So, because I actually find it a lot easier to use than my finger.
That's what she said last night.
But this is a fantastic pen. This has got
That thing's huge.
Yeah, it's got a spirit level on it there, and it's got marks for inches and centimeters, so you can measure something that's less than 3 inches long. So that'll come in handy for you, Josh. And if you screw that bit off the top there, there's a little screwdriver, little Phillips screwdriver you can put in it, and it's a pen as well. And a thing. So I'm quite happy with that. I use that all the time. That's my stylus.
Very cool. The only thing I didn't see in the pictures, and words I didn't read, I would really hope that this stylus would fit inside the phone. Because if it doesn't, I'm not buying a phone with a stylus, is what I'll say. Because I know I'll just lose it in like 2 days.
Is it like a stylus you have to have? You can't just use a third-party stylus. You can.
Yeah, you can always use a third-party stylus because all they do is emulate the conductive aspect of a finger.
Yeah, but I thought they might have made it proprietary in somehow.
I don't know if they listen. This is Motorola. I don't know if they have enough money to spend on figuring out something proprietary right now.
Yeah.
It looks like it slides in their door.
I know.
Family friendly.
Exactly. So I would say that to me was one of the things that really caught my eye, hardware wise. But I will say again, I'm probably just going to dump all 50 links that I have in the notes just because. And I'll say not news wise, but this is the kind of thing I'll say this. I have 2 things that should be in the news, and I'm pretty sure neither of them are. First one is technically a desktop application. Okay. This is the kind of thing that can help people who want to learn and understand mobile application privacy and security is the way I'm going to put it. This is an app to help you understand what's going on. Okay. This is a thing you can download on GitHub to your desktop called Android Application Analyzer. Basically, you have to just need a Python installed on your rig. Then you just go to this GitHub and you just copy down the code and run it, and it's all Python, so it's very modular, which means you don't have to have this type of computer running this operating system. As long as you have Python, it should work. Is the gimmick. Now, the only other thing you will need the Android the Android dev ADB fast boot type system on your computer. And I'm pretty sure this does link to that. And basically you launch this app, debug the phone, put it in debug mode, connect your phone, grant it permissions. Then you are presented with a list of applications that are on your phone. You can go ahead and select the application on your phone, and you can see everything that's being stored in that application's data folder. So you can see if it does have access to your contacts, what information is it getting from your contacts? Is it literally just slurping up every single contact you have and storing it? Or is it literally only looking up for things that you search for, kind of thing? Anybody who is a aspiring tech enthusiast or security enthusiast or privacy enthusiast, I cannot implore you more. Check out this desktop application, and the developer is a very small time independent. I got the impression college level developer. There is links to their personal information on this page as well. If you have enough drive and effort, you can find them, contact them, and drop them a couple dollars for their effort, because I have no problem saying this application reveals a lot of information that a lot of people are right now just overlooking.
So is this like a plugin for the ADK, or how do you access the app that
you plug the phone up physically to the computer that you're on? You can use wireless ADB, but I encourage not to. But you physically plug the computer up to the phone that you want to analyze. You turn the device, you go into developer settings by clicking the build number like 7 times, turn on developer mode, go back into developer mode, turn on USB debugging, and then you run this application on your desktop. It accesses the ADB fast boot system, and then it basically digs into your phone with root type permissions. That's what this enables, when you do the fast boot. And then using those fast boot type permissions, basically scans your entire application partition or your data partition, returns all the names of all the applications that are installed. Then you can basically click the application and click analyze, and it will tell you every bit of information that is stored in that folder, in that application container, if you will.
Oh, that's
So is that the information that goes to the developer?
Or that they're sharing with third parties, kind of thing. And there is a way that you can actually also run an emulator inside here, which I never really got running because I'm thinking I only downloaded the ADB fast boot, and I think I needed the full Android developer thing installed. So I don't think I had that ability, but I still found it very interesting, is what I'll say.
Does it show network traffic as well, or things like that, like posts or get requests?
It doesn't do any log analysis. I'll say there's a different application. If you want to do log analysis or sniffer type analysis, the easiest way is to literally just put Wireshark on your home network and sniff the traffic coming out of the phone. That's the easiest way to capture that traffic. But then you only get the traffic that's coming out of the phone when you're connected to that network. So, there's caveats. Again, this is called Android Application Analyzer, AAA, kind of like this show. So, that's why that caught my eye. Now, the follow-up application, I'm going to say, the follow-up thing to this is something I literally found maybe an hour and a half ago at the most. This is an application. It is essentially a research application out of Carnegie Mellon University Labs. And this is what I'll say. I really don't like most institutions because they institutionalize things. But some college campuses are actually trying to do stuff that I think is really beneficial and it's cool. And this one is called IoT a assistant. But if you read the URL, it's actually IoT privacy IoT assistant. Okay. So that's giving you more of a clue of what's going on here. Okay. It has a really cute logo that almost looks like the OpenSUSE gecko. I gotta say that. So more than likely they're running SUSE. They're running some RPM distros up there, babe. Okay. IoT a assistant, Carnegie Mellon University Labs, E for everyone, completely free to download. No in-app ads, no in-app purchases. Currently no reviews because it's that new, because this is Door to Door Geek. Updated February 20th, 2020, 02/20/2020. Size varies with device, 1,000 plus installs. Current version varies with device. Android varies with device. Content rating, E for everyone. Permissions is location, GPS, full network access. So if you remember going through permissions on a lot of other apps, in actuality, that's not a lot of permissions. Okay. But a word of warning: when you launch this app, you get lots of warning about what's going on. You have to agree to terms of service, and then you have to accept permission for it to access your network and other things. So this application up front warns you about all the permissions that it needs, and it needs a lot of permissions, what I'm going to say. Okay. Here's the description of this, or at least part of the description of this application. Discover and control what data is collected about you by the Internet of Things tech or resources. The Internet of Things, IoT, is everywhere. It consists of a myriad of devices and technology that collect data about us, from carriers with facial recognition and other AI algorithms to smart speakers that record what we say, or the sensors that track our mobile phones, to name just a few. Okay. That was about half the description. In short, load this application on your phone, grant the access to it, and create an account, because what you're doing is you're helping this organization gather just how much people are spying on us. Okay. I'm going to quote a quote I did on another show like a week or two ago. You were put here to protect us. Who protects us from you? Okay. You have to relinquish a lot of control to somebody who you want to help protect you. Okay. They have to have a lot of information of yours if you expect them to protect you, because they have to know what to look out for. So you drop this on your phone, and basically it pulls up a map, and and then it's showing you all around you what kinds of things are going on, what kinds of things are tracking you, what kinds of things are tracing you, what they're doing and how they're doing it, kind of thing. I want this kind of thing to become more popular and easier to use. I will say it's very easy to install. It's very easy to set up. And once you get the app up and running, it's pretty intuitive, but I haven't been to a city type area yet, because I'm in my house. Of course, there's nothing tracked. I would hope that, like, if my neighbors had the video doorbell, the Ring doorbell, it would tell me as well. So I could walk up with an IR sensor on my hat and break their camera, you know? I guess that's just me. Sorry. So the moral of this week's show is you can launch an application on your desktop, and you can investigate the application more than the application invests you. And you can put an app on your phone that can monitor what kind of information that you are sharing with IoT devices around you. And now, when they say IoT devices, they're really not meaning Amazon speakers. Okay. What they mean is you walk into a mall and there's Bluetooth sensors every 20 feet that you don't see, that's literally tracking you as an individual walking through that mall. I mean, there's things like that going on.
And so what sort of data is the Carnegie Mellon University labs? What are they collecting?
I'm sure they're connecting your username, your login name, your password, everywhere you've been, and what data you choose to share with these IoT devices, and what data you choose to obfuscate with these IoT devices. My guess is to try to inform other people on what kind of things are going on out there.
Well, it's also a pretty good way to collect data themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll say this. The word security is a complete misnomer. It's the wrong word. The real word is like trust. Who do you trust with what? Because there is no more security. Hi, this is Door Geek. This is 2020. Security doesn't exist. And privacy as a blanket term doesn't exist. You have to pick what you're sharing and who you're sharing it with and when you share it. I, at least Carnegie Mellon, had the common decency to ask me up front, can I look up your skirt? And they didn't just do it. So they at least asked, and I said yes. And now they can take that information and do what they want with it. I hope they help with IoT security. I hope they help with individual privacy as well.
I was having a little bit of a problem with that link that you posted in the chat there, Dor. It's not showing up for me. It might be a country thing.
No, it should still show up in your desktop browser.
Okay.
Yeah, it showed up for me. I actually just installed it as well.
Okay. It's very strange. It's telling me the link is not found. The URL is not found.
Not sure.
Never mind. Obviously,
this is I just posted a link in the chat as well from Mobile Syrup, and I saw a couple of articles that were like this, and it says the number of Android apps asking for call SMS data dropped 98%. So apparently, the Play Store has changed their policies and have booted out. This says 790,000 policy breaking apps. So looks like they are trying to get rid of some of the riffraff.
I'm okay with that. I'll say because Android's doors are wide open, the riffraff are just as welcome to come in as the good guys. That's why as consumers we have to have more of an educated eye kind of thing. So if Google's doing their quote unquote part to get rid of stuff, then good for them, I guess. About time, maybe. Yeah, and
there was an article that I posted on our Reddit chat today, on our Reddit group. Sorry, not chat, about Google banning 600 odd. What is it? Hang on, I just got the app here. And hundreds of Android apps, about 600 apps from the Play Store for obnoxious ads. So I don't know if you've seen that yet, but I think it's well past time. The main offender, I think, was an outfit called Cheetah Mobile, whose ads were just blatantly trying to get, just trying to annoy people and trying to serve as many ads as possible in as short a time as possible. So that's a good move. I think they've managed to clear out about 35 app developers who have been producing these apps.
Well, I'll say me personally, I don't care about ads. They're fine because ads are like right up in your face, and it's very easy and obvious when they're there to just uninstall the app. This one is the one that caught my eye over at Bleeping Computer. And if you don't know what Bleeping Computer is, computer techs, admins, people who do like residential support are the kind of people who visit this kind of website. They try to tell you what to look out for to fix people's computers and stuff like that. They posted an interesting article saying Google Play Protect. Now, really quick, if you don't know what Google Play Protect is, if you just open up your Google Play, go to the hamburger menu in the top, and then go to My Apps and Games, you should see two things at the top with little swirly arrows. One of them says updates, and you can see if there's more updates, or no problems found. That's the Google Play Protect. It's basically like a level of AV on top of the Google Play Store, and the Google Play Protect blocked 1.9 billion malware installations in 2019. What they classify as PHA, potentially harmful applications. I'm not sure what gives it the classification of potentially harmful applications, but I can take for granted some of them are ad based, some of them are apps that want to like override your browser's default behavior. Some of them I'm sure are doing what is like a low level DNS hijacking as well, trying to get credentials for other sites and services. So I'm happy to see these kinds of things, and without sounding dumb, I'd much rather Google be honest and upfront and release these numbers to the public versus try to hide this and act like this kind of thing isn't going on, because anybody who has had a child on an Android device knows it's very possible to get unwanted stuff on a phone.
That number, the 1.9 billion, that has to be, I mean, how many apps is that? That's got to be multiple installs of the same app.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm sure the individual unique number of apps was probably less than 300,000 maybe, because or at least because some of them literally had like 1,000 plus installs at least, and some of them only had 5 installs. But yeah, they said out of 3.2 billion potential bad apps, they got rid of 1.9 billion, which is a hell of a lot of a higher percentage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least they're putting some sort of effort forward.
Yeah,
Like
they
you said,
say here 100 billion apps scanned every day. 100 billion apps scanned every day. I'm really happy. I don't have to pay that electric bill. Just saying.
Well, that's got to be what is. I mean, that's got to be every phone, like just scanning the phones. Then,
Just about.
I mean, where else are you going to get 100 billion apps? It's got to be. Is that must be scanning internally in the phones?
Yeah, it is on each person's phone, because even if you sideload an app, this thing will still scan that app for malicious code. So yes, if WhatsApp has 1 million installs, it's scanning WhatsApp 1 million times.
You say that if you sideload an app, that it scans that too. Will it shut down apps that you sideloaded?
I guarantee you, if it finds something malicious, you're going to see a pop-up for it. I'm not sure if you sideload it, if it will automatically take any reactionary measures toward it, though. There was another piece of hardware news, honestly, guys, I wanted to bring. This one caught my eye only because, again, it's something different. I like companies trying different things. Over at Giz China, Xiaomi launches a CR600 all-in-one desktop computer with what looks like a rubberized cyborg mannequin at the helm on the image. I'm just saying. I am not a fan of all-in-ones. In fact, I hate all-in-ones. I will never buy an all-in-one for the rest of my life. But this ain't for me. This is for like grandma. This is for the kids. This is for, an in-law that you really don't want to talk to. You can buy them one of these. I love Xiaomi. I love companies just completely breaking grounds in places where they're not popular. People want a hassle-free big screen experience at their home. Not everybody wants to work off a tablet or off a laptop. So I'll say this is a potential market that they could be successful in. Maybe not in North America, but they, I think, really could be successful in this.
Yeah, I was quite interested in getting a Xiaomi laptop for a while, but they were very expensive. And how much was this? I didn't see the pricing on that particular.
Price starts at 3,199 yuan, which they equate to $458 for it. It starts out with a Core i3 processor, 23.8 inch 1080p DPI screen.
Right. Yeah. 28 inch.
Yeah, which is
Wow. That's
fine.
not bad.
Yeah, and I'll say it's the bezels are kind of sexy because they're kind of slim. Just saying.
Yeah, it's actually it's 24. It's 23.8 inches.
Yeah, that
We're
seems
talking
fine.
about the screen now.
Yes, sir.
God, just checking.
And I tell you one thing, we can't. Your video's not on, so we're looking at your avatar picture, and it's much better looking than you are now.
Yeah, I don't know why. My internet connection seems to be fine, but my computer is hanging. Tell you what, I will duck out for a minute and restart my system.
You should get a Xiaomi.
I should do, shouldn't I? Sorry about that, guys. I'll see you in a minute.
Okay,
If you
then.
don't mind, Door. Oh, you got more. I was
ahead.
gonna bring an app here real quick.
Yeah, sure.
So this is something I never got working. I spent several minutes trying to. Sure, it's a permissions thing or something, but it's called Edge Lighting Notification Rounded Corner by FlySoft VN and personalization. 4.4 average reviews out of 28,000. Updated October 11th, 2019, version 2.6, 3.1 megs in size, 500,000 plus installs, requires Android 4.3 and up, and it needs access to your contacts, your phone, your device ID, call information. Run it, startup, draw over other apps, view network connections, full network access, prevent device from sleeping, and control vibration. So the reason it needs all of that is because it is basically a notification, different type of notification system. So it is sending, or it basically flashes the outside, a ring on the outside of your screen when you have notifications. Apparently, it's copying something that Samsung does with Edge notification. So I quite like the idea of it. I never got it to work on my phone, but it looks like it would be just a neat little notification setup.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if what we're seeing in the video is real or something from like an emulator kind of thing, like not completely real kind of thing. Because here's the thing, with a high DPI screen to where this bar around the outside is really like thin and tight, this could be really friggin' desirable, especially if you're a person that doesn't like to have loud notifications. And let's just say you're not a fan of vibrating notifications. You just want to look at your screen the whole time and not have to look any other ways. So I'll say this is something I genuinely like the idea of. And I will say also, the bigger the screen, the more I could see this being useful. And it's really customizable as hell too.
Yeah, it's almost to a detriment. Like I said, if anybody else gets it up and running, and I'd be interested to know about it. And I mean, it's a 6-minute video they threw on their door.
Oh yeah, they didn't play around, did they? But yeah, with like a super thick border, I think this becomes almost like gaudy. But if it's like thin and sleek, I think it's really functional, is what I'll say. Do you know what
And
the in-app purchases are by any chance?
no, I did
Maybe
not
that's why
see.
it wasn't working. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
That would
they
suck
have purchases to make it work.
to make it work.
Um,
That's a great business model. Download the
it
app
really,
for free and it doesn't work. In-app purchase, you actually bought the app and it works.
yeah, that's it. It just says like they never make it work.
Genius.
Well, with my phone, it has the rounded edge um on the side, so I thought that might be kind of cool, that even if it's sitting flat, you could kind of, if it's on the
Right.
side there, you could see it. But again, I didn't pay the money to make it work apparently, so
Gotcha. The next thing I want to bring really quick, it really isn't an app, but it is an app centric article. That is. Uh, okay. I've been talking about this off and on here for a little bit, is all I'm going to say. And I'll say it like this. If a mobile phone releases anytime after 2019 and wants to gain any market share and not run Android and not run iOS, it has to piggyback on somebody else's app ecosystem, because you can't start from scratch in 2020 and expect to win anything. Okay. I've said that for years. PinePhone from Pine 64. I'll say this, the main guy who is the, oh god, like the concierge of community, he's like the head of their community section, and he said in a chat I saw, this phone will not be successful, get over it, this phone is for the enthusiast, this phone is for people to have fun with, this phone is for people to explore. Okay. He was very honest and blunt, and I think very true to himself as well. And here's an article on Little Putin, the Linux-based postmarketOS may support Android apps thanks to Anbox, Anbox. So basically, it's an operating system you can put on this PinePhone, because if it's a Linux computer, that means you can install myriads of operating systems on it, and one of them is called postmarketOS, and postmarketOS already has demonstrations where they have Anbox working inside of it. So technically, everyone's now saying they're going to eventually get it to where you can have this Linux smartphone that only costs $150, load this other operating system on it, and have access to Android APKs. And Ivor's back, and I really hope you saved your file from Audacity before you shut down, and you started it back up before you got here?
Yes, I certainly did. I've learned that lesson.
Gotcha. So I'm just saying this publicly in case, okay? Don't be shocked if Door to Door Geek in a short time from now pulls an Ivor, comes up to an Android App Addicts podcast and holds up 2 phones and says, like, this is my work phone, this is my business phone, this is my Android phone, and this is my fun phone, this is my play phone, this is my Linux phone. It very well could happen, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
So
I
you're going to
read that.
Sorry?
Sorry, Josh, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say I read an article about that as well, the Anbox, and just the one thing is that it isn't, it doesn't run on ARM yet. So if they can get that working, then yeah, this is terrific.
Well, there's no doubt they can get it to run on ARM, but will it be efficient? Because realistically, on ARM, you can run a embedded emulator to say run this in x86 mode, and the dirty secret is there's been a couple phones out there that did the exact opposite. There's been a couple x86 based Android phones that had baked into them ARM emulators, so when you launched applications, it was basically like it was an ARM infrastructure kind of thing. So it's possible. The question is, would it be responsive and would it be stable? And that's what they're going to probably explore both branches, genuinely having it run in ARM or emulating the x86 in ARM kind of ecosystem. I will say the amount of support, the amount of contributors, the amount of people submitting code to these mobile phone ecosystems, they admitted has been insane and something that they could not have foreseen.
Well, I really hope they get it running without the use of any emulators, because that just causes problems. I've tried developing for ARM. Well, basically trying to emulate a Raspberry Pi on a desktop in order to develop an app, and my god, it's
not
just
fun.
No, it's really not fun at all.
Yeah. I'm gonna do one more hardware link, at least because I have to, only because this might get Ivor closer to his dream, and I'm saying it out loud. Okay, TCL, hard stop. TCL is a company that everyone has actually heard of if you paid attention to Android at all in the last couple of years. Because in the last couple of years, you heard about BlackBerry releasing phones. Well, guess what? BlackBerry hasn't released any phones because BlackBerry doesn't exist anymore. BlackBerry licensed the name BlackBerry to the company TCL to release phones. Okay. So TCL now just dropped their contract for BlackBerry, said we're not going to do any more BlackBerry. And they're upset because they were supposed to show this at Mobile World Congress, but TCL has a phone with a slide out screen. So we're getting, instead of foldable screens, we're getting a screen that more closer resembles like the and this is what I believe All About Android said, like the they had at CES, they had a roll up television screen where you hit the button, it would roll up into like a thing in the ceiling. And if you remember in school, you would pull down the motion picture screen, it would roll out, and then at the very bottom, you'd have to catch it. And then when you want it to go back up, you have to pull it, and like it would roll back up. People believe that's almost the kind of technology that they're using on this screen. And I'll just say it like this. This is a screen idea. If it actually works, oh hell yes, I can get behind. I love the idea of having a normal sized phone in my pocket and have it basically extend to twice as wide by a roll mechanism, especially if it doesn't break in like 3 months.
And let's be honest, it's only a short step from there to putting a wristband on it.
I'll say there's a lot you can do. If you can have a screen grow by almost 50% in one direction, that opens up a lot of possibilities, what I'm going to say. I don't care if it has 4 gigs of RAM or 16 gigs of RAM. I don't care if it has the latest Snapdragon 8, yada yada. I do care if it only has like a 2000 milliamp battery, but it better have a decent battery and at least a decent sized screen, and it has a hole punch instead of the teardrop shape is what I'm gonna say. Um, they did get some soft confirmation from TCL that they are working on something like this. So there is no, drop dead confirmation that this can be a real thing or not. But I love the fact that it took a while. We had dull, drab, rectangle pieces of glass for so many years. We're now finally getting different stuff.
Yeah. They had to innovate. The market was getting bored. So it's a good step. It's great to see this sort of thing going on.
Very cool.
And just as an aside, what do you reckon is going to happen with BlackBerry?
They don't exist. They're like RCA. They don't exist anymore. They're like
So they've
Kodak.
gone completely out of business. I thought
No,
they're
no,
still
no.
running
they're-
security.
Oh, no. They gave up the ghost on that 2 years ago. It turned out that their certificates on all their servers was totally insecure, and they were literally handing out to governments that paid enough money. So BlackBerry was
right.
never actually secure.
Wonderful.
They're going to live in the name BlackBerry because there is value in that. There is still value in the name, but I don't think we're going to hear from them again.
So you're telling me that the 3 years I spent struggling with a BlackBerry Storm as my work phone was all in vain. There was no actual need to use it.
If your cohorts insisted you had to use the BlackBerry Messenger, well, then you had no choice.
No, they didn't even use that. It was just email. That was it. Never really used the BlackBerry Messenger, email and text messages. That was it.
Well, they had their 15 minutes. I mean, they sort of
Oh,
stepped on their own throats a bit.
Yeah, they had the opportunity to be the most famous phone manufacturer in the history of the world, and they
were for a while.
For a hot second.
Until they realized that people couldn't type on those damn little keyboards.
I have one more. Okay, I'm literally picking. Oh, okay. I'm gonna stick with the privacy focus thing. One more non-app kind of news article thing. We've all heard of Firefox. We all know about Mozilla. I'll say they're playing a very, very dangerous game right now. But of course, I've said it before. If you don't do dangerous, challenging things, then you're not trying. If people don't criticize you, then you're not trying hard enough. Firefox is coming out with Firefox Private Network. Secure your entire device with this VPN. Protect the connection for your whole device, including all apps on a Windows 10 and Android, now available for a limited time beta of $4.99 a month. I literally already signed up, and I have no problem paying Mozilla some amount of money for some length of time just to support them. I'm not giving them money because I think it's a great value. I'm not going to give them money because I think I need this service. I'm going to give them money because I don't want Mozilla to go away. Okay. They've been around, they've been innovators, they've forced other companies to do the right thing. Now I'm trying to force myself to do the right thing and support competition, support open ecosystems, and support companies that have supported me. So I'm going to pay them some amount of money. I already signed up, haven't got it yet. I don't care if I'm a beta tester, but I'm going to pay them some money because we need more companies to be on. This is going to be available for Windows 10, Android, Chromebooks, iOS, Mac, and Linux desktops kind of thing. So I could literally pay one price and have all my devices using the same VPN trusted network to where my ISPs and my mobile carriers have very limited access to my personal private information.
So this says that one of their partners, like I was just looking this up, is Molvad.
Yep.
So that is a VPN company. It looks like it's out of Europe for €5 a month. So they're basically just wrapping it in with Firefox. Is that what's going on?
Yes and no. The long and the short of it is OpenSSH is a technology that's been around for 10 plus years. OpenVPN been around for 10, 15 years. Both of them have had their fair share of extreme vulnerabilities. Both of those technologies, aka all secure protocol technologies in Linux, is going to be overtaken with a technology called WireGuard. Okay. WireGuard is also already available on Windows servers, BSD, and Windows desktops, Linux desktops to do secure communications between the devices. A lot of people say it is the future of all secure protocols back and forth. So I believe Malware is a company where one of the founders of WireGuard works. So I think it's really nothing more than that.
Because Opera browser also has a VPN built in, but it's not really a VPN, is it?
Yes, it's a VPN straight to China.
Exactly. Yep. I'm getting really frustrated with my browsers. I have
Oh,
to tell
you are?
'cause-
Well, I got a solution
Yeah.
for you. I have the solution for you, and I have the solution where there is no solution out there that will give you better results. I have no problem saying that out loud. And I almost got into a physical altercation over the internet. Because I've said before, things like Pi-hole, where you can install on your Raspberry Pi and you can DNS black hole, add stuff. The default installation of that is near useless. It isn't useless. It's near useless until you go in and you do some of this and do some of that, add some block list and do some extra stuff, and then configure your network and do some more stuff. And then if you use Google Android on your phone on that network, it doesn't matter. You still get ads because it's Google. Okay. This, on the other hand, is called Smart Cookie Secure Web Browser from Cookie Jar Apps under Tools, E for Everyone. No in-app purchases, no in-app ads, completely free to download. 4.3 reviews, updated February 7th, 2020, 3.3 megs in size, 10,000 plus installs. I want to see that 20,000 plus installs. Current version 6.5.1, 4.4 Android and up, content rating E for Everyone. Permission levels, photo, camera, location, microphone, storage, a lot of stuff because it's your browser and your browser is the next operating system. You load this browser up, you go to any page on the internet and you ain't seeing no ads. Period. I cannot say it enough. This is by far the best browser on an Android device if you require speed or just less ads. This cannot be beat. And it's so much simpler than try to install a computer on your network to do some kind of management and some kind of ad blocking kind of thing. I don't know how much bandwidth this is going to actually save you, but I know my eyeballs, it's saving me from a lot of ads.
Does it black hole the ads or does it actually block the ads?
What I believe is the browser itself, the engine in the browser itself, basically ignores downloading of all the ads. That's what I believe.
So
okay, so it doesn't take over your DNS.
It doesn't need to.
Change your DNS.
It doesn't need to.
Oh, I'm just wondering because you go to some websites and it says we noticed that you're using an ad blocker. Either turn it off or whatever, pay the consequences.
I haven't seen that once in this browser. Now, if that 10,000 number goes to 10 million number, you betcha you're going to see that message. But at least for now, I do not see that message. And I understand, there is a billion ways to tackle the issue of ads on your web pages that you're viewing. And I understand if we don't have any ads on the internet, people say the internet's going to die. I understand why they say that. I don't agree with them. I think they're morons. But if you're sick and tired of overwhelming number of ads, load Smart Cookie Secure Web Browser, and you will no longer have 10,000 ads per page.
You know if there's a desktop version?
Nope, there's not. Because trust me, and when I saw the results, I was really hoping there was.
Yeah.
And it's open source as well.
Oh, yeah, thank you. It's completely open source, and I beg anybody, check it out If it doesn't do what I just said, call me out on it. And if it does do what I said, tell somebody else to download and install it. Very cool. So, got any apps there, fella?
Your
Josh,
turn, Ivor.
you got one? Okay. I actually wanted to show you guys this app. This app is called Trains on Time. So I'll just share my
It's about
screen.
Italian tyrannies.
Yeah, not quite.
Note to self: Ivor thinks tyrannies are funny.
They are, yeah. I live in one. There you go. This is called Trains on Time. Can you see it all right? On your
Oh,
screen?
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
trying to find the link.
So tap play. So what you do is you basically have to, it's all about the timing of the train. So you set one train off like that, and then you set the next one off at a time that is going to work. Oh, that didn't work.
Ooh.
So you got to go again.
Wow, that's a very angry face there. Almost. This is the
And you go and you have to
Gestapo.
complete all of the tracks before something happens, before they crash. You got a certain amount of time and everything. So there you go. That's Trains on Time. That's pretty much it. It's about 900 levels of doing that at greater and greater levels of complexity, which I've been having great fun with.
I'm interested in that app that was on the bottom there, the ad app where the guy's crawling through the desert and you can either give him water or what look like a bottle of whiskey.
Oh yeah.
I just think it's really funny that in the App Store they don't know how to film a video in portrait.
Do you have a link to that app?
Yeah.
I
got it.
Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
You got one job, man. One job.
Yeah. I know. I had it
Yeah,
already
this is
today, but
by
then it
Popcorn Games puzzle E for Everyone. 43 reviews, does contain ads, does have in-app purchases, free to download. 3.6 average reviews, updated February 20th 2020, 2020. 32 megs in size, 10,000 plus installs, current version 0.6.1 5.1 Android and up. $3.49 per in-app purchase. Permissions: photo, Wi-Fi, storage, other. To set an alarm.
I don't know why.
I wasn't going to answer because I don't know either, but I just found it interesting.
Yeah, I had a bit of fun with that game this morning. It reminded me of playing with my son when he was a lot younger, and he was absolutely fixated with trains.
Gotcha.
Josh, you're up.
All right, this is called GroupMe, and it is
What? Called what? GroupMe.
Me. Yes, be careful how you pronounce that. By GroupMe, it's communication. 4.5 average reviews out of 436,000. And updated February 13th, 2020, 13 megs in size, version 5.43, requires 4.4 and up, installs 10 million plus, and it needs every single thing on your phone plus your parents' phone. In-app purchases $1.08 to $2.51 per item. I don't know what that is for. The only reason that I used this app is that I was thrown into a group. I was doing a fantasy football draft actually, and this was the communication of choice for the other people involved. And so it was a pleasant enough experience. It seems like it's a very popular app, and I don't know. I guess it's for ease of use, or how it got traction, or who is using it. But if you're looking for just a way to group chat, it was pretty good for that. I mean, I prefer Signal or Voxer or something else that already using. But it's a clean interface and pretty easy to use. I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of it or
No.
know what it's used for?
Is it like Facebook?
No,
more
it's
for
just a
messaging?
it's just a chat. Like you just sign up
Right.
for it, and it's like our Voxer chat basically. But
Okay.
I mean, with 10 million plus installs and 480,000 reviews,
I-
I just
Well, it's out of New York, so I already don't like it.
get a rope.
Sorry. The logo is weird. It looks like a Cyclops as well. So a New York Cyclops. I don't get it. This is the kind of thing I almost don't care. People aren't using Facebook Messenger. That's okay in my book. We can use GroupMe. You know?
Yeah, anything but Facebook or WhatsApp.
Well, the
Don't
same
care.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's another thing. I have no idea what this app is doing. What if it's? I don't think there's any sort of encryption or anything like that. So
I'd be shocked if there is.
yeah, I'm not recommending it, but I did use it, and it was a clean interface.
Well, here's the long and the short of it. It's supported on every platform, which is not super easy to do. Desktop, both mobiles, everything else. More than likely web-based as well. So if you can log into one device, do a chat, log into another device, and see the entirety of that chat, that means everything that you're doing is probably in clear text on a server somewhere. Probably. Not always, but
it's encryption.
Yeah.
Why don't people want to use encrypted messaging?
And a whole bunch of celebrities have their pictures accidentally slipped to the nude pictures slipped to the public. Oh wait, no, sorry, that doesn't work. I don't know. When they have no choice, when it's the default, when it's so easy to do it, when every company decides to do it, I don't know. Because if we leave people to their own vices, you know, if this was 1905, they would have just said, I want a faster horse that craps less. And they would have never gotten a car. I got an app here and it's gonna, and you know, I can't help this, but everything I bring comes with a story. Okay, here's the long and the short of it. I've listened to more than a couple theologians in the last couple years, and there was a big think video that came out in the last week or two where the guy tried to say, in his opinion, and he made it clear it's his opinion, one of the things that is wrong with the first world right now is there's too much national news, there's too much federal government talk when there used to be things called like a Kentucky Democrat or a Illinois Republican kind of thing, because state issues were more important, more local issues were more important than the big federal picture. So I do like the idea of more local news sources, but comes with a caveat. There are many security professionals that say right now the next big wave of extreme hackery stuff that's going to be going on is a whole bunch of insanely fake local news things being stood up that are going to propagate real local stories for 99% of the time, and then 1% of the time they're going to be injecting in propaganda stuff to try to manipulate people. So I don't know how good or accurate this application is or could be, but it at least caught my eye. It's called News with a silent K, KNEWS, Local and World News App by NCNACE Holding LLC. Under news and magazines, everyone 10 and up, no in-app ads, no in-app purchases, completely free to download. 37 reviews, average 3.8 reviews, updated February 20th, 2020. I'm seeing a kind of thing going on here. Size 12 megs, 5,000 installs, current version 1.0.3, 4.4 Android and up. Permissions, Wi-Fi locations, photo, media storage, recover data from the internet, run it startup, blah, 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 blah. This tries to be, it tries to say, it tries to be a independent, unbiased news aggregator focused on local or more local headlines, plus bringing in more world perspectives. I would love if that's the case. And I'm not going to judge. Everybody has to judge for themselves. So if you like news, any kind of news, I encourage you to always look outside of your normal comfort areas for news. Check this one out. Don't weigh it any greater than any other news source, and maybe no less than any other one as well, but check it out. See if it fits your needs, see if it fits your form factor, I'll say, for news. I find it decent is what I'll say. I find an article that looks interesting, I open it up, and then I share it with my text to speech application because I ain't reading nothing.
Well, the app looks exactly like the website.
I guess that's a good thing.
Is it US only?
Yeah, I don't have access to it either.
With a silent K, I'm going to say no, it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not available. I don't even have an install button. But you know that nobody knows the news like Gary can news.
Exactly. I just gotta say, you go to this website and this is an ADD's dream come true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm starting to like twitch and vibrate just because this is like, wow.
It's almost
Wow.
overwhelming.
How can they say it's unbiased?
Well,
Trusted news coverage. I mean, surely, look at the standard of mainstream media at the moment. It's totally biased.
Well,
and on both left and right. And now they expect local news to be any better.
I'm okay if something is biased. Well, okay, and no, local news is no better.
Well, as long as they're upfront about it, as long as you know,
Thank
they
you.
don't pretend to be otherwise.
As long as you're honest about it, I'm more okay, is what I'll say.
Well, apparently, according to this, Steven Spielberg's daughter is now in the movie business. According to the headline, it says Michaela Spielberg, Steven Spielberg's daughter, comes out as porn star. So, I mean, it's pretty unbiased.
Well, his father, here's the thing. I just listened to a podcast last week where Steven Spielberg's father was a real like international man of history. And I want to say it was education. And then when Steven was young, he said to his father, I can't do that. He said, what are you going to do? I like to make moving pictures. He said, it's a waste of time. So maybe his daughter's now saying to him, he's like, what do you want to do? I want to do independent movies. And he's saying, it's a waste of time. And maybe she's going to prove him wrong.
One thing I just saw, well, looking at the group me, so I brought an app and I didn't know why, which is pretty par for the course, really. But it says
at least it didn't have anything to do with poo.
It says that you don't need to even have the app to use it, though. So you can add people from your phone book and they can just via SMS be part of a group me chat. So that's kind of interesting.
That's a plus.
Yeah. So basically go back door and edit before and then put in that this app is great because you can use SMS and don't have to download the app.
Okay, as long as you don't hold your breath waiting for that. Okay.
You have any more apps, Ivor?
I do. I've got a great app here. It's an app called Football Killers.
Always with the football with you.
Always with the football with me. Yeah, I love football.
Was it oval handball?
Yeah, oval handball.
Football round ball.
So I might have to share my screen again.
I don't know why you can't call it soccer.
But you know the dirty secret. It was first called soccer in the UK for a very long time.
Was it? I did not
Oh,
know
yeah.
that.
That's where the word originated from. And then when other people started calling it soccer, they said, oh my, we can't call it soccer anymore.
So sorry about the noise.
That's awfully loud.
So,
It is loud.
sorry, I'll turn it down.
Oh my god.
So it's a bit like Bowmasters, if you remember that game. So what you have to do is basically kick a ball to do something. I don't know what, but
If you could just turn the sound off, that'd be great.
yeah, there we go. Apparently, you get I don't know how I'm going to get this one. Anyway, you just got to kick this ball.
This is intriguing.
I've got no balls.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
let's try it again. How am I going to get that? Oh, then we get a wish ad. Great.
Man, you have
yeah,
the,
so
you have the most amount of ads, man.
I do. Yeah, I think I might have to put the ball up there somewhere. No,
Into space?
that doesn't make any sense.
Is that Spaceballs?
When's now? We just missed it.
Oh, there we go. All right, it drops down like that, and yeah, and you get lots of blood coming up and that sort of stuff. So
you're basically
so
trying to kill football hooligans.
yeah, it's a combination of Bowmasters and Stupid Zombies. I think if you ever played those games, it's a bit like that.
Oh, it's definitely
but
stupid.
I like it's definitely stupid.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how you're supposed to do this, but I see. Here we go. But yeah, it's a lot of fun for a while. I'll save your ears from that anymore.
Wow. So Dor, you got any apps?
Well, I'll say going back to the idea of I'm saying this slow so I have time to catch up. Going back to the idea of progressive web apps are the future, because I say they're the future. Google is on board with me as well. There's an article on Lil Putin, because I love to say Lil Putin, called Game Snacks. Okay, bottom line, you just go to gamesnacks.com. It's actually not gamesnacks.com. It's actually google.com. And what it is HTML5 games that are purposely made for people with low bandwidth connections or low resource phones. So basically, you just go to the page. There's a bunch of games you can load. You load the game, it all loads in a browser. There's no ads, there's no installation, there's no nothing. It's just progressive web apps right in a page. And if you like the game, you can literally just bookmark it in your browser, and voila, you have yourself a game ready to play of all different kinds is what I'm going to say. I will say there's a couple of these games that are good. There's a couple of these games that are bad, but bottom line, if you don't have any fun playing any of these games, I'm sorry, but I don't know what's wrong with you, because there's always at least one game in here that harkens back to some game that you played on some other platform for some length of time, maybe a year ago, maybe 20 years ago. But like right now, I'm playing like the old Linux Frozen Bubble game because I can. Yeah, this is just old classic games brought into modern HTML5 infrastructure. And I like the idea of not having to install stuff to play games, because, why should you have to?
Yeah, definitely. And if they can do that for these kinds of games, then it won't be long till they can do it for more complex games.
Well, and that's the thing. None of these are super advanced games, but the top downloaded games in Google Play today are still games like Candy Crush, which are not complicated games. And Google, and this website, which is actually Google, says very openly, if you create an HTML5 game, contact us. And then we'll be happy to help your thing. And they even have one called, gotta say this one slow, Jewelish Blitz. Not Jewish, Jewelish Blitz. I think, and it looks like it's possibly, yes, it is. It's Candy Crush, whatever, because that's what it is. So you don't want to install Candy Crush and get your Candy Crush fix so you can hide from your spouse that you actually are playing Candy Crush, and you can say to them, "Look, I didn't install it." You don't have to lie to them anymore, kind of thing, and you can tell them, "Look, I didn't install it," and still get your Candy Crush fix. So everybody's happy, maybe. I don't know. I have to close these pages down because they're too easy.
Yeah, I'm down a rabbit hole now too.
So yeah, if you want to install or play games without installing games, all one word, Game Snacks. GAMESNACKS is what you're looking for. Links will be in the notes.
Whatever happened to instant apps? Now, if you go to a website that's supposed to have a app on it, then you can use that in your phone.
Yeah, there's a couple more, but they're not really popular.
Mm.
Do you want to do some tank emptying there, Ivor?
Yep. I've got one here. It's called Colorative, and this is create your own wallpaper app. So if you're sick of the millions of bloody wallpaper apps that are on the Play Store, and you don't really get what you want, or you get just these apps that do a resplash rehash, like that resplash rehash. I should write that down. You can use this app to basically design your own theme or your own wallpapers, download them to your screen or to your phone, and use them as your own wallpaper. Excuse me, sorry. I'm going to turn the sound off here. So shall I show you how it works?
Do we have an option?
Hang on a sec. Okay, there we go. So you have these various ones down the bottom here, which you can use for free. So we'll start with stripes. And then you can choose, the idea is you choose a color for the background. So we'll go for green. So let's choose a light green. And then you can choose a color for your stripes. Let's go for, what do you reckon? What do you reckon, Josh? Go for purple? Purple, okay. So then you can just add different colors to your wallpaper. And we can even go and add some more here. Blue and more green. And when we're done, we can then download it to our phone. So you can set it straight away to your home screen or your lock screen. And there we are, we have it. And it gives you an ad as well. And the thing I like about this is if you go into the home menu, you can turn off color, and you can still go and make your own non-colorized version for people who are colorblind. So I thought that was quite cool. If you're colorblind, you can still use this app.
Is it just stripes, or what's the?
Well, it's got lots of different designs. So you can use tangles. You can use this one here as little squares. So you can have lots of little squares. This is the colorblind version. And yeah, and where they make the money, I think, is through the advertising, and you also have to sell. They sell you specialist designs, which you have to pay for. Yeah. So there it is. That's called Colorative, Color Wallpaper Generator. It's got a rating of 4.5 in the Play Store, and it was last updated on the 15th of January. It's got 10,000 plus installs. Requires Android 5 and up. Rated content for 3+, and it doesn't require any special permissions. Apart from photos and media, Wi-Fi, and storage. A couple of other ones, but yeah, nothing unusual. So quite a good app, I thought. You can play with that if you want to create your own little wallpapers.
Can you send them to your friends?
Yes, you can download them directly. You don't have to set them as your home screen. You can just download them to a file and send them around to people if you want, or save them to your gallery.
That's fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
I do like the fact that you can actually share your creations.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you have any apps in your tank there, Josh?
Yeah, I'll bring one more. This is one that I didn't necessarily have a lot of time. This is kind of the theme right now to use much, but it's called Sketch a Track Route Planner GPX Viewer Editor by Pixel Clash Maps and Navigation. Average of 3.7 reviews out of 208. Updated February 16th, 2020, 4.6 megs in size, 10,000 plus installs. In-app products, $4.29 to $10.99, and uses location, media, storage, and some others, blah, blah, blah. So what I could tell from the in-app purchases, it seems like it's free for a couple weeks, and then they want a monthly fee, I believe. I don't know if you can just buy the app outright, but it has the topographical maps, and I think you can maybe have flat map as well, and you can draw a route that you want to take somewhere, and it'll give you all the data on elevation change and distance and things like that. So you don't have to necessarily follow a trail or a road. You can create your own track to get somewhere, and then this will give you a bunch of information about that route.
So is this for people who go rambling in the bush in the bushes in the country?
Yeah, or you just want to go up the side of a mountain or something like that.
Right. And Canada only, or is it worldwide? I've got an install button, but I'm not sure what that
Yeah, I think it's
means.
worldwide. I think it uses the, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it's an overlay on the map.
It looks really, it looks good. It's got the topographical map there and looks quite detailed.
Are you guys hearing some feedback?
No?
No, just me.
Yeah. And I will say it's using the GPX, because we kept hearing GPX. It uses the GPX file extension, which is something you can export out of the application. And what it is a GPX file, is a GPS data file saved in the GPS exchange format, which is an open standard. So if you have other applications that use this GPS data, you could pass it between applications and see it on other systems. So that's really cool.
So interesting section here. It says people use Sketch a Track for the following outdoor activities: hiking, go for a hike, cycling, mountain bike, running, walking, man trailing.
Is that like mansplaining?
Man trailing is.
I don't know, but you can get arrested for it in about 42 states, I think.
Is that what Josh does on a Friday night?
Something, and I'll say this: it has a unbelievably professional looking image art, is what I say, like album art for it. Really cool, and it is maybe the first application we've done out of Austria.
Yeah.
It's in Austria.
So that's cool.
They like their hiking in the mountains up there, don't they?
I don't know. You could have said anything right there, and I wouldn't be able to say you're wrong.
Good eye, Mike. They like their kangaroos and their barbecues.
Austria.
Oh, speaking of kangaroo,
Not
speaking
Australia.
of kangaroo, I ate some kangaroo the other day. Last week we had kangaroo burritos. They're actually quite nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, kangaroo's tasty. It's probably about the leanest meat I've ever had, though.
Yeah, it was a bit gamey. You could it was cut with ground beef, but it added a quite a nice taste. Oh, I really quite enjoyed it.
And
Might have to get some more of that.
if you drop it from a distance onto the floor, it actually bounces back onto your plate.
Or if you throw it across the room, it comes back and lands on your plate again.
Gotcha. Okay, here's what I got emptying the tank kind of thing. Number one, Android Police put an update to a app. There's no way I'm going to pronounce this app right, okay? Because I know Socrates, as they call it in Bill and Ted's Adventure, Socrates. And see, I had to say that to understand it. Socrates.
Socrates. It's always Socrates.
Right. So this application, I believe, is called Socratic. It is a homework helper app that has been picked up by Google, aka bought by Google, and they have some AI enhanced stuff for their Android application. So if you have a child first through, like, I would say 10th grade kind of thing, this is an application that if you install on your Android device, I can guarantee you can help them with maybe a third to half of their homework, not just the math homework is what I'm going to say. From when I looked at it. It's not, I know, look, you can say it's a homework cheating application, to which I will say, no, it's not, because that's what they used to call calculators back in the day too, dummy. They're not cheating devices. They're simply devices to help people get things done. So if you have a kid in school, Socratic, Socratcitic, really cool app, works really well. Next one I'm going to bring is an app. If you haven't heard of the game Overwatch, what the hell are you doing? Okay, it's huge. They literally have Overwatch leagues. They literally have dedicated channels now in like 6 countries where all they do all day is stream Overwatch things on TV. Okay, there's literally multinational Overwatch leagues that are making millions of dollars. Okay, Overwatch is a multiplayer game where there's like, I want to say 6 people per team. Each team member has unique abilities and traits, and they shoot, bang, bang, kill each other kind of thing. This is trying to be that for Android. It's called Shadow Gun War Games Online Player versus Player, or PvP FPS first person shooter by Mad Finger Games Action T for Teen. Right now, 16,000 downloads. Does contain ads, does have in-app purchases, is completely free. 3.3 average reviews. Brand new, literally brand new. Updated February 14th, 2020. 56 megs in size, 500,000 installs plus. Current version 0.0.1. I'm going to say that again. 500,000 installs. Current version 0.1.1. 6.0 Android and up needed. Content rating T for teen, V for violence. In-app purchases $2.99 to $99.99. I do believe the game is completely free to play, and every in-app purchase is a completely pointless purchase, like you're buying gear for your people to look different. I don't believe this is a pay-to-win system. Permissions, it needs a lot. Wi-Fi, photos, storage, receive data from the internet, blah, 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 blah. I encourage everyone, go take a look at the video of this on the Play Store, and I guarantee you this looks like a game that was on a console maybe 4 years ago. And now it's not. Now it's on an Android handheld gaming system that I'm not going to say looks better or plays better than Stadia or the NVIDIA system, but I will say it's a native Android application that anybody can, quote unquote, pick up and play, especially if you like shooting people. So I think
another
that's really
another game my son would love.
Yeah, well, I got another one that my kid was going to love. This is going to be, I believe, the last one in my
Real quick, Dor. Do you know what the controls are?
Other on-screen touch controls. I did not see any Bluetooth-enabled support, or else I would have tried to install on my devices. Okay, last one. If you have not heard of FNAF, well, then you don't have a kid in your life. And I don't know. I feel sorry for you. But FNAF is one of those things that if my kid could have, if my youngest, 11 years old, could have a education in FNAF in a formal education curriculum, he would have already graduated college, gotten his master's, and had a PhD. That's how much my youngest kid knows about FNAF. Okay. This is a ongoing part of Five Nights at Freddy's FNAF. I'm sorry, Bendy. This is Bendy, not FNAF. Bendy. Called Boris and the Dark Survival by Joey Drift Studios Adventure. T for teen, no in-app ads, no in-app purchases, currently $1. I guarantee you this, people, it's going to go up in price. It's going to be like $5 here in like 2 or 3 weeks because people will pay it. 4.7 average reviews. Eligible for the family library, updated February 10th, 2020, 119 megs in size, 10,000 installs, current version 1.0. This is brand new. Content rating T for teen. Permissions, it needs nothing. No permissions whatsoever. I do not know how to describe any of these games, Bendy and the Ink Machine or this. These are slightly dark, a little dank, story-driven games with clickable, interactive sections or parts where you have to basically explore this universe, which is not normal. Go around the world, discover third-person view, find things, figure out puzzles, figure out mysteries, and get to the end of the levels kind of thing.
So has your son played it?
Thankfully, he doesn't know about it yet because his mentally challenged peoples he's watched on YouTube's haven't put out videos for it yet.
Right. Okay.
But I'm sure in the next day or two, he's going to ask me, Dad, do you know about Boris and the Dark Survival? Well, if you didn't, and then he'll go on for 10 minutes explaining to me the people who created it, why they created it, when they created it, what to expect in future updates and expansion packs. And me and he's on everything.
So it's a spin-off from Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's kind of like the Chachi of Happy Days, yes. Or the Mork and Mindy of Happy Days, yes. And here's the thing. If you like Five Nights at Freddy's, if you like Bendy and the Ink Machine, there's little doubt this is going to be right up your alley. And if you have a kid in your family that likes either of those things, I heavily encourage you, get Google Opinion Rewards on your device, answer a couple questions, get this game for free, and put this game in front of them, and you will have a happy kid. Very cool. Do we want to quickly?
I didn't know any of this.
You don't want to. Trust me. I understand. I understand, Josh. My oldest is 14. My youngest is 10. I remember when quite literally Fairly Odd Parents, Phineas and Ferb's, SpongeBob, all that stuff was new to me, and yet it's been around for like 10 years and I didn't know anything about it. And my kid had to educate me on all that. So you have your time coming, don't worry. And I really hope your kid tells you about Gravity Falls or some other really good show that you had no idea even existed.
Well, yeah, FNAF, I just spent the whole time you guys were talking trying to spell it and figure out what it was.
Yeah.
And then
Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a horrible, horrible game. It's not even good. But it spawned
good ratings.
Oh, it did, because it spawned community around it. It's kind of like the Raspberry Pi of games.
I like Raspberry Pi.
Do we want to go over the emails at all? Because basically they were just questions about screen
copy,
the app that Ivor used.
No, I think we answered them pretty well in the response. Okay. And then thank you to Carlo. He responded via Patreon as well. So yeah, I think everybody's good.
I mean, if anybody's still curious about the app that I'm using to interface with the computer, it's called SCRCPY. You can just enter that into a search engine, and you should find the right links to enable you to install it. Just remember, you'll have to enable your developer options on your phone and enable USB debugging. As long as you know how to do that, you should be fine.
Yeah, and it enables you to have your Android device presented on your full desktop, laptop screen and use your keyboard and mouse to manipulate the device, just like it was built right into your computer.
And what we
It's really good.
discovered tonight is that the sound also works.
Very well.
Yeah, the sound works really well. Yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
Very cool. Do you have any parting words there, Ivor?
No, well, just thanks to everyone for stopping by and listening to us, and apologies again for my technical difficulties. Next week, hopefully, I will have a new microphone instead of a new cell phone. So, see how we go with that.
Gotcha. Do you have any parting words there, Josh?
Yeah, my parting words are in order of appearance. The apps that we brought tonight, which started with Manualslib, user guides and owner's manuals library by manuallibs.com under books and reference, and Android application analyzer by Not So Secure, an IoT assistant early access by Carnegie Mellon University Labs under tools, edge lighting notification rounded corner by FlySoft VN personalization, smart cookie secure web browser by Cookie Jar apps under tools, trains on time by Popcore Games and it's a puzzle, Group Me by Group Me under communication, canoes with a silent K, local and world news app by NCNS Holdings LLC, Football Killer by Simplicity Games under sports, and Game Snacks, HTML5 games, and colorative color wallpaper generator by colorative personalization, Sketch a Track, Route Planner, GPX Viewer Editor by Pixel Clash Maps and Navigation, and Socratic, a homework helper app, Shadowgun War Games, online PvP FPS by Madfinger Games under Action, and Boris and the Dark Survival by Joey Drew Studios Adventure, which is part of the FNAP family of, I don't even know if that's right, FNAP, I don't even care. So yeah, I think that was about 15. And thanks for everybody that came out into the chat tonight, which looks like it was red. No Flying Rich tonight because he knows that our podcast is better than his. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Very cool. I'll say, do not forget, if you want to send a voicemail in, 7076 Podnut. If you want to send an email in, aaa@podnutz.com. But I shouldn't have to say either of them because they're in the notes, which also contain links to our Discord server, which also contain links to our YouTube channel, which also contains link to our Twitter feed, and contains link back to podnutz.com. Podnutz.com, tech podcast by normal people for normal people. We strive to be a completely ad-free network, and to remain completely ad-free requires some semblance of support from the viewer, whether it's just sharing the feed with somebody that you love, sharing an episode with someone you care about, or even just letting somebody know that this is content that you think they would enjoy. Do not hesitate to contact me directly if anybody needs anything talking to, hardware, your house just burned down, or you just need somebody to communicate with, doorgeek@gmail.com. I want to thank Ivor and Josh for coming out for their effort in all this, and I want to thank everyone who comes out live again Thursday nights around 9 p.m. And I can't believe no one has emailed me and called me out for saying ad-free versions of the show. Which just, I'm going to keep saying it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep saying it because I don't think everyone out there understands that this is a completely ad-free show. So I want to thank everyone for coming out. There will be additional links in the notes, I'm going to say, to all the other stuff that I couldn't bring. One of the things I'm going to just throw in here last second. Sorry, Josh. It's called Scroll a Better Internet. Okay. Long story short, this is another way to get an ad-free internet. I do believe they want to charge money, but it's only charging money to a very select website. You load the app, you browse those websites, you then see no ads, but your money that you're paying to this company, 80+% of what you're paying goes to those websites. So it's another way of trying to have less ads on the public internet. I'm perfectly okay with paying money, but I don't want to pay money to The Verge. I don't want to pay money to USA Today. I don't want to pay money to Slate. I don't go to those websites. I don't go to BuzzFeed. I don't go to
Vox.
Business Insider. I don't go to Salon. I don't go to The Atlantic. So
No.
this app is pointless for me, but it might not be pointless for you. And if any podcast out there only brings like 3 apps an episode and one of them is goat centric, you have to question what the hell are they smoking? You just heard us drop 10 apps easily.
15. 15.
Well, I'll say easily 10 apps that can easily compete with any apps on any other show that was brought in the last 30 days. Period. I dare you, challenge me. I'm Door to Door Geek. Do not hesitate. Contact us, download us, share us, and we will talk to everyone again in about a week. Take it easy, everybody.
Once I got just crapped out there. I don't
That's
think
not
they're
good.
I don't
Really?
think I don't think they're real. I think I got eBayed.
They were hardwired, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They just started buzzing.
Because I can tell you mine, I have literally like ran over with my chair and they still work.
Yeah, I mean like it has the the braided wire and
Right.
even has the little me sticker on it.
And you're plugging them to the whatchamacallit hardware.
Yeah.
Oh, those are your new ones, aren't they? Yeah. That
Yeah,
should
and
work
it
fine.
just started
That should be good.
yeah, just I don't know. Just garbage. Maybe I should have spent more than $9 on them.
Well, hell with it. I know this. Me unplugging after the red voicemail. That's why anytime I have a voicemail, I'm quiet for a couple seconds because I know when I plug from the phone, it's going.
Oh, so that was the time you were quiet.
And when I was burping,
It wasn't a burp.
export. Okay. Ow.
Yeah, I think my technical problems earlier were from an overheating PC. It was just getting really hot. So I had to open the windows and everything in the room.
Oh, must be nice in summer.
Yes, it's lovely. We were up to 30 degrees Celsius yesterday.
Damn.
You use Celsius, don't you, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're around
Door,
about 27.
you said oh yeah, nice. You said that you were exporting Door. Do you export and then edit?
I always first. I'm already done editing. There's no editing. I mean, I just take the extreme peaks and just get rid of them, and then I save the project and export.
Well,
Well, because
don't you do the F4 and all that nonsense?
Well, because share screen, because my audio looks like that. So there's not a lot of stuff I have to do.
Look like that, man. I don't understand. I was messing around with it for several minutes today. Just can't get it to come out like that.
And I mean, I literally try to make it to where if I sit back even a little bit, you won't even hear the audio because watch, I'll do this and I'll say hit record now. So
I can't see you though. How far?
well, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to see this. Why didn't it?
Intriguing.
Let's go file, new, Control W. So if I'm back even a little bit, and when I talk, that's the kind of what you see, to where it's not going to be even remotely close to where if I zoom out, that's what it looks like. and then if I get close, it's going to go up, and then if I come back, it's going to go down.
How
So,
far is your gain set?
on my hardware knob, it's
Yeah.
about 50%,
What in the world? I don't understand.
just over 50%. But like
Yeah.
when I'm back, this is how far basically I'm sitting back, which is let me fix my white balance. Then, so I'm at least like my hand width away from the mic, and
Yeah.
then that's how bad the audio was. When I'm on the show, I literally am like a finger's width away from the mic.
Yeah, so am I, but I cannot get the I'm still it's just
Well, and like the software volume, I never change, ever change.
yeah.
On PAVU control, I just have it set to 100%, and then my hardware knob. Output level is 50%. The in is 50%. And my out is like 60 to 70%. After I knock stuff all around. Okay, so close. Let's save that. Close, I already saved that. Okay, so now let me start this. Okay. Oh, what a damn day at work is all I gotta say.
Hey, what happened with your front page of the newspaper issue? Did they sort that out?
Front page of the newspaper?
Yeah.
You mentioned that you might get on the news.
Oh yeah, we didn't, thankfully, because something worse happened less than 12 hours later that they picked up on. So my boss's boss's boss literally came to me and thanked me for submitting the SR that caused my parents' agency's technician to accidentally click something that brought their entire ecosystem down for 12 hours.
Jeez.
I said, well, it wasn't on purpose. He says, I know. That's why I'm thanking you. Your accident probably saved a couple people's PIN numbers here. Or their permanent jobs. I said, yeah, but I didn't want them to work here anyway. And he started to laugh. He said, that's not funny. I said, I'm not making a joke. So he didn't like that, but you know, he'll get over it. But yeah, we had a problem, is what I'll say. And unfortunately, and here's the thing, a guy on Twitter called us out publicly, right? And then I went on to Maltego, put his user ID in, got his IP address in, put his IP address into another system, then PM'd him from a account in Bulgaria that said this IP address has been known to frequent child pornography sites. Take your tweet
Jeez.
down. Okay. He then took his tweet down, and then I forwarded that information to the FBI.
What? Wait, what?
Maltego. Just look Maltego up. It used to be completely open source. It shows you just how much information has been leaked on the internet for 30 years. You can put in someone's home address, and you can get email accounts, usernames, IP addresses, AOL chat handles, IRC NIC handles, all associated with a physical address. Or you can put in any other information, and it will give you people's addresses, IP addresses, email addresses, chat handles, tax records, employee ID numbers, social security numbers. Gives you all kinds of information. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's quite, you know.
And you found this guy was looking at kiddie porn?
I made him believe that I found his IP address on kiddie porn sites. So he retracted his public statement. And really, isn't that all that matters?
All that matters.
He tried to portray himself as a security professional, and when looked at his LinkedIn history, he ain't no security professional at all, like remotely even close.
Remind me not to piss you off anytime, Dor.
You have nothing to worry about, Ivor.
Too late.
You're not stupid. That guy was stupid.
Yeah.
He thought he was
Oh,
going to get
I
some
could do.
fame out of it.
Huh.
Or a bug bounty.
We are at February. There you go. Paste. Yeah, Maltego is the thing where now, if like hypothetically, you get a divorce, don't pay a private investigator, pay Maltego.
Mhm.
And they will tell you everything and anything you want to know digitally about anybody.
So would a VPN help there to hide your IP address? Or be no use?
No. And neither will Tor. The only thing that will help you is self-control.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're all screwed. Now, time to document the apps and the links. Essential. That's what happens when you try to rape women. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, his reputation did not survive. Brought the whole
Couldn't
company
happen
down, didn't it?
couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I remember when the phone first came out, all the reviewers were panning it, saying, "Well, it had a screen that was too, you could scratch it too easily, and the camera was useless." But then now, when they announced the demise of the company, it's like, "Oh, it was a beautiful phone. It was really nice. You know, it worked really well, and it was well ahead of its time." What the fuck? You guys are bloody panning it, a year ago.
After a couple updates, it became more respectable, is what I'll say.
And a couple of price drops as well.
Yes, a couple of price drops, and they promised the add-on ecosystem would flourish, and of course, nothing happened. Yeah, this IoT assistant, they need to rename it.
Yeah, it's not so good.
Yeah, because I posted it one place, and the guy immediately was like, IoT assistant. I said, read it, dude. Read it. Even read the URL. It's not a private. It isn't an IoT assistant. It's an IoT privacy assistant. And then I quickly said, warning, it asks for a lot of information and asks for a lot of access. Looking at the permissions on the store, the way that it asks for permissions is jarring compared to what permissions it actually needs, I think.
Okay, guys, I've got dinner on the table, so I better get going.
Dinner, isn't it 2:00 in the afternoon?
Your stuff uploading?
5:30. Yeah, my stuff's uploaded already.
There you go.
Great to see you again.
All right, man.
I'll see you later.
Be safe.
Cool.
See you
Take
next
it
week.
easy, man.
Hopefully. All right, bye.
C, Control V, lots of Control C, Control V, Control V. I was really already today thinking about calling out of work tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
But I can't because I looked today and I have to have 2 days off next week already. One for my youngest has a doctor's appointment, and then I have a orthopedic appointment. They're going to see if they're going to do surgery or physical therapy, which of course they're going to say physical therapy first, and then see if I need shoulder surgery or not.
He'll be back on the mound in no time.
I just know laying in bed on my one shoulder alone kills me. Even if it's only for a couple minutes. Just kills me. Free. So this is actually called FPN, Firefox Private Network. I don't know if that's a good name.
It's a bit wordy.
Yeah. It was $4.99 a month. Yeah, I'm gonna give them at least 6 months worth of money, maybe a year worth of money. If I can, I'll give them more, but I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it
Well,
works.
and like one guy in Discord said, he couldn't believe Firefox is doing this because this is a incredibly dangerous game
Mm-hmm.
they're playing, because now if there's anything except perfect execution on this, they're going to be called out and they're going to be drawn and quartered by everybody.
Well, it looks like it's just, like I said, it looks like they're just using that other wall var or whatever it is.
We'll see if they're doing it right or not.
All right,
Dang.
you want me to do an intro to this thing?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. I always forget, man.
That's what I'm here for. And the only thing I wrote down for a title was rehash resplash,
Yeah. Good.
but you might want to write that down because otherwise you're going to say, "Oh, I forgot the
Oh,
title." again."
I'm sure I'm going to forget because I'm copying and pasting 85 times. And being generous, it's probably closer to 200 times.
See here.
Straight to the point where my fingers get tired.
I've got blisters in my fingers.
Exactly.
All right. Door focuses on security and VPNs. Ivor brings the noise, and Josh throws darts at apps to bring on this week's episode of Android App Addicts installment number 560. Too much?
Yeah. I don't think so. I gotta stop yawning though. Dang. A couple people sent those HTML5 games. Like 3 minutes later, they cussed at me a lot. Oh, games are addictive.
I'm gonna redo that. Door focuses on security and VPNs. Ivor brings the noise, and Josh throws darts at apps in order to figure out which one to bring. That's just terrible too. Door focuses on security and VPNs. Ivor brings the news. The news? Jesus, Door, I should have just left
No
the other one.
canoes.
The
What was
canoes,
that
no.
from again? I can't remember what show that was from.
What was
Wasn't
that?
it a show?
Nobody knows news like Gary Gnews.
Yeah. Was it a TV show?
It was like the Muppets or something, I think.
Can't remember.
I think it was the Muppets.
I know when you said it, I know I heard it before.
Yeah. Actually, that's better. I like that. I'm going to use that. Door brings the canoes. Ivor brings the noise. And Josh throws darts at apps to bring on this week's episode of Android App Addicts. So lame. It always just fades out, too.
Balancing fixes that.
All right. One more. Door brings the canoes, Ivor brings the noise, and Josh throws darts at apps to bring on episode 560 of Android App Addicts.
I can't believe this Boris game is only 99 cents.
Is that the F map or whatever the
Yeah,
hell
yeah,
it's
yeah.
called?
So I gotta believe they believe they're gonna make it up in numbers. The games like this are at least $2 or $3 is what I'll say. Okay, so I have it at 25 links for the show.
Wow.
Okay, so oh, cranky. Okay, so now my eyes are so bad.
This new monitor's been pretty terrific.
That's cool, man. I hate monitor prices, but there is nothing new monitor to help like productivity and headaches and everything just
Mm-hmm.
cheap. That's the thing. Bang, Control A, Control C. Keep the YouTube links to say this. Now, no. Leave that there, but now we'll take this and go over here. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm looking for.
Um,
Come on, Cletus. Come on,
all right, man.
Cletus.
I gotta get going.
All right, man.
I
Good talk to you,
uploaded.
man.
Yeah, you too, per usual.
Everything's uploading.
It should be uploaded already if you want to check it.
I see the 560 Josh, 87.3 megs.
Yeah.
Intro 143.7. Looking good, man. Really quick, how's the kid?
He's good. He's very good.
Is he still falling with style?
Yeah, he's getting a little bit more sure-footed, but he definitely crashes still.
Well, you know.
But stringing together 2-3 word sentences.
Awesome.
So, yeah, he's he's pretty funny.
I trust me, I understand.
Yeah.
You take a lot of attention up, at the same token, you just sit there and like say something else. Go ahead, say something else.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, man. We'll be in touch soon.
Cool, man. Be safe.
Yeah, you too. Later.
Video. I can't even find video. This will not work. That's right. I knew it. So now we have to come back to the details, because now we're posting this to the Patreon. Oh, ugly as crap. Okay. Post title required. The post title is going to be video. Android App Addicts episode 560. Select tier. No. This is going to everyone, but early access. Yes, Sunday. 11:29 is not right. 9 o'clock. The gimmick is I have to wait for the upload. Oh, okay. So this should work now. It says finished. So back here, add URL. Oh, big money, man. Why are you doing that, man? Come on. Done. Copy link. Try it again. I'm gonna still hit publish. I don't trust it. Let me close. Make sure I'm gonna edit the video. Options, uploads. Yep. Title description. I don't think that's it. No, that's not it. Details. Because the thumbnail looks right. The thumbnail looks absolutely right. So what happens if I come here, hit V, stop? This won't start playing the audio there. Control A, Control C, X, A. Oop, it won't. Oh, there you go. Okay. Publish now. We're publishing this to the Patreon. Okay. I'm going to drop off, guys. Got to run to the bathroom. Thanks for coming out, Red. You might be right on the Muppets. He might be, but I can't remember. Oh, man. It's going to drive me crazy. All right, man. Take it easy, guys.